another episode of For the Culture podcast, a soccer podcast for us, by us. We talking about the intersection of soccer and black culture. We got your favorite hosts here. You got Ringo on the mic. You got Grego. You got TK on the ones and twos. You got Rashad the mayor. What's up, gentlemen? New week, another week of quarantine. How's it going?
Making it, man. Keeping it above water. Making our way when it came.
TK, how you been, man? Got the quick trip plug, I feel you. Rashad, how you been, man?
Zoning.
I've been trying to make it, man. I'll share some news by the end of the show, but yeah, there's been a lot going on my side, but just trying to also keep my head above water. So. Got you, man. We kind of started off, as you guys noticed, Tony's not on the mic. He's doing great things for the city and with his organization. So you guys will catch him next week. So I guess we'll dive right in. You guys want to go straight into soccer? You guys want to go in and talk about Last Dance came out this weekend? Where you guys want to start off? Which side of the spectrum?
Yo, Mike a snitch.
Yeah.
Mike a dry ass snitch.
Yeah, this, like I said, this documentary has really shown like Michael Jordan. It's the whole thing about from Dark Knight, man. You watch your heroes become villains, and this whole thing, man, it's just Michael Jordan just looks different now that we're adults. It's like
He did warn us. He said, "I'm afraid people are not going to view me the same after watching this footage."
Yeah,
and
Funny because of course, you go on the social media, you go on Facebook, you go on Twitter and everything. You have the section of people who are still like ride or die. Mike can't do shit wrong. And then actually, if you really look at this through a objective lens, and you're just like, there's a couple ways I could really go into it on that, but I just know that he a snitch, and he is petty as fuck. And it's funny because especially this past week they were going into Robin and the rivalry with the Bad Boy Pistons and everything, and it's funny to me, especially how most of these guys are in their 50s and 60s now. It's like, man, fuck them bitches, these straight up bitches.
but I mean that was what was so dope about that part that you're talking about that I liked is that how competitive the NBA was then. It's like till this day, these guys haven't played the game in almost 20 years, and they still have the animosity they still have towards each other. And, like you talk to any Lakers player from back then, too, they'll probably say the same thing about the Celtics. And, now in the NBA, everybody wants to be each other's friends. They want to ride each other's boats, get each other's names tattooed on them. It's just, the level of bitch-assness has grown in the NBA, and it really shows how much it's changed since the 90s,
It's so weird because, like you said, right now, I think the advent of social media kind of broke that wall down as far as because, back in the days, if I'm in North Carolina and I got somebody, out in California, more than likely I ain't never talked to that person. I ain't never waved my hand at that person. And because of social media, you're able to build those relationships now that you wouldn't have 20 or 30 years ago. And and build those connections back, and then it was nah, I don't know that nigga, fuck him.
Yeah, but on a serious note, it's now because of AAU, a lot of these guys have played together since they were 6 years old. So they are friends. So the joke about the bitch ass, they're friends and things like that. But it was really cool to see Pistons players are still yo, man, Mike still's an asshole.
It's
yeah, TK Rashad, did y'all check out episode 3 and 4 of Last Dance?
Nope, unfortunately, I haven't caught it yet. But
Yeah.
this is good. This is a good setup. I can't wait to watch it. I gotta watch all.
Same.
Seen one or two either.
Yeah, I think we got 2 more left, man, and I think that's it.
It's 10 parts, so
Oh, is it 10? Oh, I thought it was a 6-part. I thought it was a 6-parter. What the hell else is there to talk about? I guess when he leaves and plays baseball, they're gonna do a whole episode about baseball, episode about Space Jam.
It's funny that you say that because shout out to our homie Elliot up in Richmond. He actually gave a whole, how they do with Marvel talking about okay, you start with this movie and then you in here at Endgame.
Yeah.
she said like, okay, if you start here at Lakers and Celtics best of enemies and shit, then like you work your way down through the announcement when Magic retired. You work your first few episodes of Last Dance. You do this Magic moment with the Orlando Magic. Like it's actually like really intricate as far as like how much has already been covered about basically like the 80s and 90s NBA. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's glorified. It's kind of the same way people glorify kind of the late '90s of like a European soccer. Like when you like look at diehard soccer fans that watched it, that followed the game forever, how they glorified the '90s. I mean, NBA fans do the same thing about the '90s NBA. So it's going to be very interesting when we talk about like in the 2050 when we're all a little bit older. We're going to be glorifying the early 2000s. Like, man, Allen Iverson era. It's like it was no other.
Messi, like there was nothing else. Nothing.
I was like, he came in the league. He crossed up Jordan. He crossed up Kobe. It's going to be crazy, man.
Still first pair kicks.
Yep, and everybody had a pair of Iversons, man. And then the AI sweatpants, 4 sizes too big. It was a different time in the early 2000s, man.
Shaggy.
Like old pictures of us like 2003 to about 07. You're like, bro, like how did I get away with like shit that damn big, man?
One of them throwback Thursday pictures popped on my Facebook feed. I was like, gross, man. I can't believe I used to dress like this.
Are we trying to do a challenge?
This week gonna do a throwback challenge, coach.
Man, lucky for you guys, it sucked shopping for me, man, because I couldn't find clothes.
Yeah.
Because all the little dudes was in the man.
Hey, we had it, man. 4 sizes too big, man. I was like, gross, man. It was gross, but that was a style, man. That was it.
Tall tees at Foot Locker, man.
Man, felines, slouch socks. What? Don't take me back, man. I want to play Crime Mob right now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, TK. I know you couldn't find no kicks, man. Hey, you had to get yours straight out of East Bay magazine. That was the only way. Oh, hey, do they even still make East Bay magazine?
Yeah,
they do.
Oh, that's crazy.
My old crib up in Vine City, my cousin, I was getting some of my mail a few weeks back, and he was like, "Yeah, you got an East Bay magazine." I was like, "No."
That's a relic, man. Hey, go ahead and frame that thing.
Yeah, I get them from time to time.
You go back
every couple months.
It's like, yeah, you weren't hitting on shit if you were at school, bringing your East Bay catalog to I'm about to get this shoe here, about to get here. I remember one year I told my mom I wanted to get it's like 20 different NBA replica jerseys. I was like, yo, I want this one because I had this outfit ready for this. I was like, yo, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know what kind of money I thought my parents had. But I was like, yo, I need all this.
Yeah, man. I was the exact same way.
Circle shit. Be like, yeah. Or then you'd number it. Be like, I want this one. No. One.
Yeah. You got to borrow the East Bay between periods and stuff like that. Like, yo, let me hold it. Let me figure out what I want. Put the order in. That's funny. We all have the same ute.
And be mad when people don't get the shit back. I'm like, yo, like where my catalog at? Like, not knowing they're about to come with the exact same one in about 3 weeks. Say, hey, you good.
Yeah. Like East Bay and then Jet magazines. Those circulated around in middle school for me. And I was like, man, Jet magazine, man, that was like toilet paper today.
Actually, toilet paper for me, and my father had the subscription to Jet, so that was bathroom reading material.
Yeah. They had them lined up in the bathroom, chronological order.
It's like no one ever threw away a Jet magazine.
Never.
You go to people's houses, they might have them in the living room and have those big bowls on the table, and it's like 300 Jet magazines laid out like perfectly on the table.
I'm pretty sure my grandmother, she still has like 3 decades of Jet magazines at her apartment in Indianapolis. Like, next time I go up there, I'm gonna take a couple pictures, man, for the listeners. They're like, what is this Jet magazine thing?
Go to a black barber. You might.
You got to be old black barber, like old neighborhood black barber shop.
It's for the culture. That's what it is.
Yeah, facts. Facts, man. What you got, man? I wanted Tony on, man. I finally started watching Westworld again. I finally finished the first season. I get the hype. So I'm like, I'm in. I'm 2 episodes in the second season, so I'm catching up to that. So that, and I just started the Atlanta Missing and Murdered Children series on HBO.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much Atlanta has changed and not changed in the same breath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to get back on that because I actually watched East Lake Meadows on PBS and reading about that course. I didn't realize that, basically that area is like right where Charles Drew is over off Memorial. I was like, oh, it's right here. Oh, shit.
Yep. It used to be like the woods, man. Like you just you used to dump bodies off Memorial Drive, and like today you go like, where did they dump bodies at around here?
There's a cemetery. People like to go out there too.
Yeah, I heard about it. It's but if you haven't checked out the Atlanta Missing and Murdered Children series, I don't know why I'm like telling you guys about a sad ass story, but like it's part of like Atlanta culture. That no one ever really wants to talk about. So.
Like that, like I said, East Lake Meadows, like all that shit. Like I of course, with you and me, like not necessarily being from here, it's like that kind of shit. Like, if you ever want to know like how this city got to what it is today, like it's shit like that. So that's, the East Lake Meadows, that's available on PBS and Missing Murders, that's on HBO. But let's dig into some soccer, man. Well, I guess we can't dig into some soccer because France and Holland said we done. Said like, hey, we see y'all next season. Hey, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew it was going to be inevitable. Some of the leagues are just going to have to kind of look at the situation and say, is it viable? Tony kind of broke down the numbers. Is it viable to, bring soccer back? And, his numbers were, if you didn't listen to the last episode, it was about 200 people you needed to run an operation for a closed-door soccer match. So, I mean, that's 200 people in Paris, 200 people in south of France, 200. So it's like all around. So essentially you have just the whole entire country is everywhere working these soccer matches, spreading corona, you know what I mean, everywhere. And then next thing you know, they get, I think this would be the third wave for France. This would have been their third wave. So, I mean, good call from the prime minister. I was trying to read and understand, is it like canceled the league or it's just your points are your points where they were? Or no one's even discussed that part yet?
It's canceled. I know as far as Holland goes, they basically say like the season's null and void. So like there's no champion, there's no relegation, there's no promotion. Basically everything is like, hey, when we start up next season, it's gonna be the exact same teams and shit. So yeah, I think like we had talked about last week, I think that outside of the big countries, like I think France is obviously the biggest country that's shut down so far. Other than France, I mean Italy, Spain, Germany, and England, those are probably gonna be the only ones that really are probably gonna be able to play on, like because of course Italy and Spain are starting to work out, getting back into training and everything and how they're going to go about restarting. But beyond them, I don't see how they do it because there's just too much going on to figure out, okay, like how do we contain this to where our players are safe and then the staff is safe and be able to finish up everything that we have left. Because like we haven't even, they're just talking about the season, like this, the regular, the most domestic league, like they haven't even said anything about the cups, like, FA Cup, DFB Pokal, like they haven't said anything about those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the cups are kind of done. Like I think everyone's like, all right, we want to finish the main league, whatever's making us the real money. We're gonna finish that. So what's gonna be interesting is that the Champions League, PSG already said like, yo, yo, we're gonna travel. It's like we don't need to play home games. We'll go to you. So PSG like, yo, it's cool. We'll be PSG roamers, man. Like we'll do it to get this Champions League title, man. What's your thoughts on Champions League? You think I don't think we've talked about that.
I don't know they can do
Rashad,
it. Rashad, what you got?
As far as Champions League,
yeah. How do you think? Do you think it's even possible?
ah,
I mean, I guess they play in Qatar, right? It's an option. There's a World Cup coming up there. Tell me that's a great way to test out the capacity of those stadiums, right?
I think that as long as you're still in the mode of trying to contain as much of the coronavirus as possible, I don't see how you can continue on with the Champions League. You know, you're just trying to get things straight in your country, let alone like we're still going to be bouncing around from country to country. We still had like what 2 or 3 more rounds,
It was early.
like no, like I don't see how that works. You know, like of course we'll go about it. You know, as far as how it affects things here, but yeah, I don't see how they can realistically do it. I think, of course, as with the domestic leagues, the big question is money and how you break down all the payouts and all that stuff, if at all, because you know people want to get their money, but I don't see how, from an ethical standpoint, they can do that.
TK, do you think England will kind of follow in suit with Spain and Italy, or you think they're going to follow the France route?
I think they will play the league, at least EPL. I think they'll finish that out in some way, shape, or form. But I think the cup is going to be scrapped. I think Champions League will be. It's going to be a real tough one just because of the travel logistics too, and all the proponents / teams still involved. But and then that's not even talking the Europa League as well. If you'd like to consider that some sort of priority, or like if that's what's important, what's not important, what's financially worth it. Like these are some of the pros and cons like that they're going to have to weigh. But I think like MLS, I think they should just cancel the U.S. Open Cup, for example, and then they have at least a fighting chance to do the league. But as far as England's concerned, I think they're going to have to condense. I think they'll start training in like the end of the month or next month because we're only like what 1 or 2 days out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think we will see games in England in some way, shape, or form, whether it's 200 people at every game and all across the country. Who knows? But
Like it's insane, especially if you've seen the map of how many teams are in England. Like that's the whole country is essentially like back to normal if they just do 200 people at every stadium.
You don't understand how deep a lot of these countries are when it comes to with their soccer systems, because like people here all they think about is MLS, and like of course even here we got like at least 3 leagues that are professional, and then of course another 2 or 3 more that are semi-pro. But down there over in Europe, like you're talking about like countries that go like 6, 7 professional leagues deep, and and of course you're talking about a much more condensed area of space as far as getting as far as stadiums that are all around each country. And I just don't see how they do that. Of course, and I think we talked about this in previous weeks, but like I think the only real important thing that you need to do, like if you're going to play, is promotion and relegation. Aside from that,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep harping on it, man. They should just suspend promotion relegation this season. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. And that's kind of, it helps the second division. It helps the bottom tier people. It helps them get essentially another year. We keep harping on it. It's just a slippery slope. If you finish the season the way it is, it's like it may not be fair. A lot of players are out of the mindset. They've lost family members and stuff like that, so they may mentally not be in the game. So sucks for Liverpool. They had, a great season, but I think it's just, I'm sorry, it's just you guys decided to click at the wrong time. It's just,
Nope.
it's like they started clicking at the wrong time. So it's like, give everybody a summer transfer window to buy the players they were supposed to get, and
Now that's a whole nother bag, man.
yeah, that's a whole nother thing. It's like, okay, now who can really afford to buy these players now?
What player is actually worth now?
Yeah, everyone's been sitting down juggling toilet paper. They should just do like anybody. Oh, this would be dope. Here we go. So transfer window. Anybody that's eligible to leave, there should just be a fucking UEFA combine, right? let's test players out. They run a 40, like they do like a skills challenge per like their position, and essentially they'll get a FIFA, like the FIFA game, they'll get a score, and the score will say how much money they're worth, so that their club can negotiate with other clubs. A combine in September, start the season at the end of September. Oh, fire sauce.
Folks, what do you think?
And I think we talked about that with MLS a few weeks back. But like just with how with the amount of games that you're losing, or the amount of weeks that you're losing, like you're basically already going to have to retrain everybody once games start going anyway. And by the time everyone feels ready, it's gonna be like, okay, because remember, like for most contracts, they are officially over on June 30th. So that's why like a lot of leagues are trying to figure out like how do we work out these contracts before that date. Otherwise, basically players will be out of contract. So there's a lot of pieces that have to kind of fall into place as far as if they can go past June 30th and go into July, will it work out? And like I said, I think that, going back to your point, as far as the promotion relegation spots, I think that that's going to be a real sticky point because in a lot of countries, the amount of money that's involved for the teams that get promoted, it can be like, so you're telling me I did all this and I can't get no payout? Like, what's really good? And so I think that figuring that part out, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's probably giving them the most headaches more than anything. I think as far as like who wins the league and all that stuff, I don't think they're really worried about that. I think they're trying to figure out who's going to get this money and where is everybody going to be come next season once we are able to really get things back up and running.
Yeah. I mean, UEFA is going to really have to do a bailout stimulus package for a lot of the clubs. Like essentially, UEFA's going to have to cut a check to keep everybody, whoever was like hemorrhaging money, and just cut a check across the board for everybody just for this season. I mean, UEFA, kind of segue into the kind of the next topic. We can kind of talk about that. Is UEFA gave a deadline to all members countries that May 25th they need to give them their full plan on what they're going to do to start football back up. So, what are you guys' thoughts on kind of both of those topics? Rashad, TK?
I think it's May 25th. I think that's a good target because you're going to need to figure out about June, July if you're going to have if you're going to have your competition, especially Champions League. So I guess having those plans in place to know what teams and leagues are going to do, I think that is essential for trying to figure out competition. If you need to move, Champions League maybe to August or something, I think that's a pretty healthy time frame. And from now, that's pretty much about a month away. So I think that's a pretty healthy amount of time.
Got you. So you agree with it? What about?
I can agree with it.
What about my idea of potentially UEFA needing to give the bailout to clubs, or give it to the league, and the league distributes it based on TV rights or whoever had the biggest impact loss? What do you think about that?
I can agree with that because the money is definitely going to be messed up. Like I was looking at Liverpool, they made over $121 million Last year, if you count that in American money, I think that's about 97 million pounds. So I mean, essentially, they're not going to make that kind of money with there not being any competition. So you have different clubs on different scales. They'd be if they're in that competition, they're trying to win that money to help run the organization. You would think some of the smaller clubs won't be able to survive that. So I think there should be some kind of structure, as you're saying, to help with that financial burden, or at least to close the gap on what would have been potential prize monies, and what they would stand to get on a smaller scale of like what's going on right now.
It's amazing to me like how capitalistic soccer is elsewhere, and because you can clearly tell that just like how things are here, a lot of soccer clubs weren't preparing for this type of situation to ever come about, and now everyone's kind of scrambling, kind of split things over to what's happening over here on our side. I don't think people kind of realize that USL might be some real shit after all this, because people talk about how this is going to affect MLS. Like USL doesn't have a big TV contract like that. Like they need the people to come to games and shit. Otherwise, it's like you're basically just.
Well, I don't like. I haven't honestly. I haven't done my due diligence to follow what's going on with USL right now because there's not many independent news sources that talk about it. Like I go to USL's website and it's all still rosy Josie, but it's like it's is the club because I would think a lot of clubs furloughed the players because there's no real money. So it's like okay, if you're not renting, your facility, you're not paying any staff to maintain it. Are you really losing much money? You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. Kind of when me and Tony, we had Elliot and Chenier on from River City '93. They were saying like a lot of the clubs are used to not having any money. So it's like it's kind of like you can't go broke if you already broke. So it's like it's a pretty sound logic. So like a lot of the older now you might be right. Like some of these newer clubs that bought in recently to come on this cash cow, they may be a problem.
Yeah.
But like the kind of historic clubs that have been here, like Charleston, Richmond, stuff like that. I think they'll be fine. I just think as a whole the league will be fine because, like you said, there is no TV deal. There's no TV money, so they're not losing that guaranteed contract from ESPN and stuff.
Weren't they on ESPN3?
Yeah, but like they just
how much is that paying? They're getting some 5-hour energy. Go ahead, TK.
I mean, given that point, I feel like when Elliot mentioned on that episode, they were saying something along the lines of they had something in store to do like 5 games on TV, and then if that went well, that it was supposed to roll on from there. So I think what we're really looking at as far as the USL is concerned as a league as a whole is the potential profits or money lost, earnings not there. So for that, it just sucks for them as a whole. For the larger leagues with maybe richer owners, I think this should be something that you kind of have to plan for as a businessman. This is like having good business acumen, essentially at the end of the day, having like I have enough money to pay rent for a couple months if like shit goes to shit. Like, so like that's how businesses should work, right? So, unfortunately not everyone's situation, but like that's the real deal, like that's the real.
And that's the thing, because like I think that everyone's gonna be adopting that Wimbledon policy and be like, hey, we gonna keep putting some money in every year. Be like, hey, just in case this shit happens again, we're straight. But yeah.
I'm gonna buy a pandemic policy for MLS I'm gonna go put in a little bit. So if MLS goes down again for a pandemic, I'm gonna get paid. So I just need somebody from the league to sign it real quick. That's it. I can say, hey, can I get an autograph, Don Garber? Then I'm good.
Team call you this week? Did the home team call you this week?
No, they called me a couple weeks ago saying everything's gonna be fine. The league's starting back up. I'm like, bro, miss me with
Called
that.
me up the other day, talking about did I have any questions? Like, questions about what? I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't expect y'all to come back anytime soon. I'm not really tripping at this point. I think that I had a conversation on Twitter a couple days ago with Kartik Krishna, World Soccer Talk, and like the more and more stuff that comes out, the more and more I'm like, hey, like this winter table needs to be on the table because like we had basically like a week and a half of games. You can't go 11 months without MLS. Like that's just I think for their business as well as of course our own pockets. That's gonna be some bad shit. So they got.
Hey, let's take a break. Let's pay some bills and let's talk about that conversation you had. That's a very interesting topic. So let's take a break, pause for the cause, and we'll be right back.
Man, what's going on, culture? I want to go ahead and jump in the middle of this conversation and bring to you a new sponsor that we have for the culture. Doing something for the ladies. We've been stuck in the house due to the coronavirus. The brand Bikini Grand has decided to sponsor the podcast. They love what we're doing. They want to offer something special for the ladies out there. On bikinigrand.com, check it out, bikinigrand.com. It's a swimsuit boutique. They're offering unique swimsuits, designs, accessories for that summertime poolside vibe. For listeners today to this podcast, we're offering 30% off on your cart if you use offer code FTCUTD. So ladies, I know you cooped in the house, legs probably hairy, you know what I'm saying, nails looking crazy. So as soon as this get over, man, why not have a bikini that's ready for you to show out at the pool party? Why not have something for the beach? So check out bikinigrand.com. Once again, use offer code FTCUTD to save 30% off on your purchase. Let's get back to the show.
All right, and we are back. So right before the break, Grego, you were telling us about the rumors and the kind of the whispers about a winter schedule. You want to go ahead and take it up from there?
I mean, it was basically, I was speaking with Carter Krishnair. He hosts World Soccer Talk podcast, and basically I just put the question out there as far as like, what is on the table for MLS as far as starting this season? Because, the longer this pandemic goes out and the longer each state is kind of on their own schedule as far as reopening their states and everything, not to mention Canada as well. It's going to be real difficult to really figure out, when it's going to be an optimum time to start the season back up. And at some point, they're going to be like, okay, I just don't see how starting back next February is going to be good for MLS. Like, and basically just having
just a full year, no MLS.
Yeah, like that shit just sounds insane.
Yeah.
And what I had suggested in the conversation was basically if you switch to a winter schedule, basically what you do is you start up August, September, you play through probably the middle of December, have a winter break, and then come February, by that point you should hopefully, if everything goes well, you should be able to start the second half of the season with fans. And that way, you're able to.
Wait, you mean starting in September with no fans?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you meant like normal games, like so. You're talking about September through December, empty stadiums. I mean, 200 people.
Yeah.
Man, there's no way.
No, because all this because like most of the leagues are going to be able to start this year. It's just a matter of working out the training and everything. It looks like everyone's starting to at least get things going to where.
So your scenario. I mean, I just want to paint this picture to the fans. So MLS starts in September. They play through December. They take a break and then start back. So it's just like one season, like half a season. So February. So like February, it starts a new season, or they finish the season. So they finish the season in May. So how do we get back to our normal calendar schedule?
I don't think you do, because
we just stay on. So this is how we get our ultimate goal.
No, all considered further with it, because of course next year you'll have of course by that point be 2021, 2022 you'll have the World Cup in Qatar. That'll be late late in the year, which kind of fall right there with the break.
Yeah, be in December. Yeah.
And if you want to go even further, 2026, if we were on our regular schedule, there's no way in the world that we'll be able to have games in the summertime at the same time as the World Cup. So it actually kind of serves in MLS's best interest, I think, to, to find a way.
Think about it, and then after 2026, we revert back to spring, or we just never go back to a spring start.
Basically.
It's the ultimate goal. Then now we got the calendar aligned. Then we get pro rail.
Come.
Hey, the long game. The long game. It make, like I said, when you lay it out like that to prepare for 2026, that does make sense. Because MLS, I mean, it's gonna be boo-boo. But because most of our American players, they don't even play in MLS. So it's like MLS can still go on. Technically.
Because there's no way in the world that if you look all the way forward to 2026, we'll have the World Cup in December time. They won't have any MLS games at all for basically a month and a half, and if not longer than that. So you're going to tell me that it makes more sense for you to, keep playing on a spring-fall schedule with that in mind? Like, no, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. And it's already hard enough with the World Cup in Qatar. So, yeah, I think that this going on right here will serve MLS in a way that it just happened. It's a coincidental benefit. So we'll see how it goes. But I heard that we got a comment on.
Yeah, man. We gotta do everything. We gotta hold the alarm.
Your alarms broke.
We got a comment. You said someone commented on our story from last week.
Yeah, looks like someone literally just commented on our YouTube. Hold on, give me half a second.
Good, shout him out.
I don't know. It feels like a bot. I just clicked it. I think it's a.
Well, while he's doing that, I did want to give a quick shout out to Nicole Hercules with the United Soccer's Coaches Association. Of course, we talked about it last week. Her and Coach Tony were on IG Live last Friday. Of course, we would do it like in the middle of Dallas Austin and Jermaine Dupri's DJ battle, but that's all good. But yeah, we thanks to everyone who came on and watched that with us everything. And
what was the key takeaways from it? I missed it.
Of course, we talking about the depth of the developmental academy, and there's a lot of politics that go on in this game. Is how basically how hard it is to really get noticed, and I just don't. I don't think they really have an answer yet. So, of course, right now the immediate answer is going to the MLS Elite Academies tournament or whatever. But
yeah,
I think that's like until you figure out a way to where all the teams, not just MLS, but also you need to get USL involved in that as well, if not beyond that as well.
Yeah, CONCACAF should mandate it. CONCACAF should mandate that first and second division teams need a youth system. I think you'll see a head over shoulders increase in talent that we're producing as a region. If you had your first and second division teams have developmental academies and the playing styles actually were mirrored for their first teams and things like that, I think it would be huge. Like I said, I just didn't think the DA to me. It was just this thing that was over here that lived on its own, and it only protected the elite. You know what I mean? It's like you had to really know someone. You had to be, like, using the words of Tony, you were part of that country club to get into the DA.
It's so weird because, of course, last decade you had the Project 2010, and this past decade you had the Development Academy. And I think in both cases, you had situations where at first you had some really good results out of that because, of course, you have Pulisic, McKinney, Adams, those guys like that who were coming out of this system. But eventually you get away from, what worked because you're like, hey, I want to get my hands on it and do like actually, Alexi Lawless had on his podcast. He actually had some really interesting perspective on that as well, as far as basically MLS teams want to take control of their own destiny, and I get that. Like I said, I think in the overall big picture, it's bigger than just MLS. Like if you really want to address this issue, you need as many professional clubs involved as possible. It's not just about MLS. You got to include USL as well, and then go beyond that as well. So, hopefully, whatever it is they have in mind, they're getting.
Think about it, man. Think about money. And, we talk about the amount of money that's in youth sports, and we talk about solidarity payments. So you get a Pulisic, right? He didn't go through any MLS academy. He goes straight, because he's part of the country club, goes straight through, gets training, gets over to Europe and stuff like that. So it's like no MLS club picks up that money. MLS clubs are looking at that. They're like, oh, these kids are getting scouted by the national team, and they're getting scouted by, other leagues. So, like, we need to grab those players up. So we need to do whatever we need to do to campaign to get that DA, ended. So smart on them.
Yeah. Did you get the comment out, TK?
Yeah, man, we got the comment. Yo, big up. Not you six. Shout out on you. Doing a fantastic job. Just a fan passing through. So hey, we appreciate that.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate stopping by, man. Appreciate it. We'd love to work with you anytime.
Yeah, man. Let's collab.
Anything new on iTunes?
Let's hop on over real fast as well. Boom.
Well, while he's looking that up, kind of want to talk about where you were going back to the conversation you guys had about the IG Live. That's pretty cool, having kind of the theme of the IG Live. We really need to get maybe get another perspective on someone else on another theme of IG Live. I'll think of something, put it in the chat. We can do a live and kind of talk about a specific topic and kind of let the world know, so they can get in and chime in. Or we just do kind of what the first one was, just a free flow, just free kick Friday, and just people pop in, talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about. So,
yeah.
Couple options, couple fun ways to engage with our fans. Start getting our fans, feeling like a community.
What you got, TK?
Oh, I was just agreeing with Ringo, saying that's I think both ways offer their,
You got any reviews?
positives.
You got any reviews?
No, I'm sorry, I did a hand signal there. We're good on our iTunes reviews, so we're just going to take that opportunity to say, hey, guys, leave us a review on iTunes, leave us a review on YouTube, hit like and subscribe, and yeah.
Yeah, like TK said, man, like if you like our podcast, we would love for you to tell your friends about the podcast. Tell them to check out one episode, have that one friend check out one episode, and just leave a review. That's it. One episode, leave a review. Help us get better. We love doing this thing. So if you have any ideas on formats or anything like that, reach out to it. All of us are available on social media. You can hit us on the reviews, man. We want to talk. We want to engage. We're not Erica Badu. We're not sensitive about our shit. So legit.
Yes. Like I said, we get it. Right now there's not a lot of actual soccer going on, but we're still out here cranking this shit because we enjoy this shit. So definitely let us know, how we're doing and what you think. Of course, before we get into 2 Up, 2 Down, of course, just reminding y'all, the Culture Black Away jersey is still available for pre-order on Clubhouse Athletic. Of course, we've been pushing the links on the social, so of course keep checking out for that. I think our first round of orders will start to go on production this weekend, matter of fact, and of course 15% off on ftcutd.myshopify.com, and with the promo code 4 stars, so definitely get your shirts and name sets and all that good stuff. Like I said, at some point we will start playing again, so definitely get your drip in order. But yeah, let's get up in this 2 Up, 2 Down.
Who wants to go first?
Ringo.
I'm down. Okay, I'm up. I'm
Yeah.
down. Okay, I don't. Yeah, all mine are like across the board. So I'm like, okay, all right. So my down. I want to kind of talk about personally with me. Last night there was a shooting near my neighborhood. Woke me and the family up. There's no like I don't think anyone was killed or anything like that, but it was kind of scary because I live in kind of a suburban area. I live like kind of on the urban. I'm on the urban sprawl where it's like I'm hood adjacent, so it's like
This close to old net.
yeah, it's just like just slightly off. So kind of hearing that. I'm such a light sleeper anyway, so like kind of hearing gunfire, and I've grown up around guns, so I knew what it was. So like kind of hearing that kind of was like kind of uneasy to me because anyone who knows me, I got 3 small kids, so kind of that was a down. Especially I'm like the weather's perfect right now. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. So as like I don't understand why folks are shooting. It's weird. Like chill out. And my up is the same thing, man. With the weather, it's crazy how like last year, like for the past 2 years, it's been like crazy hot by May. It's been like 100 degrees. And like now that can't nobody go outside, man, it's like we actually have a real spring. Like for the past week and a half, I've been able to wake up in the morning, sit outside, like drink a cup of coffee in the evening, sit outside and just sit, and it's comfortable. It's great, man, and it's cool that nature keeps, it's creeping back in and it's taking over. I would just love for the world to just for 30 days, just like we just do the self quarantine thing and just like help heal the earth. Just be like Earth Day takes place in April, just the month of April. We should just like plant trees, be inside, and do what we can to like fix the earth. And sound like a hippie, but I really love what's going on right now, man. And I don't want it to go away. I don't, man. If we gotta be inside, I'm with it. Like, if you go outside, anybody listening to this episode, go outside, you can fucking see the stars again. If you live in the city, like, you could see the stars. Like, when's the last time we've been able to see stars? Like, kids? Or if you live in the country, it's crazy, man. And that's my up and down, man. I wish I had 2, but that's it. My bad hitting the mic.
What you got, TK?
Honestly, it's been it's Tuesday and it's been kind of a rough week. So I'm just I really don't have an up or down. I'll be quite frank about that. But
What happens.
just wishing for a better week. I'm wishing that my week gets a little bit better. It's like I said, it's just been a little been tripping on some branches, if you will. So yeah, happy to be alive. Thankful for everything I have. Thankful for family and friends.
Cool. What you got, Rashad?
What I wanted to share with the team and everyone together. Something that happened over the weekend that I found out, and it's kind of been still hitting me in the last few days, especially yesterday. But I lost my father this weekend, so it was pretty down experience because I just spoke with my father a few days ago. Saturday, this past Saturday, he was with my uncle. They were together working. I believe that's the last person that spoke to him. And I literally drove past his house in the street area on Saturday. And I think he passed maybe right after I was in his area. And no one heard from him on Sunday and Monday. Which was yesterday as of this recording. Went to his house, didn't get any kind of responses. Someone called police and tried to get into his house. Police thought that everything was fine. They didn't see anything wrong, so they couldn't do a forced entry because the person that called wasn't immediate family. So they called everything off. Other people were showing up and started getting phone calls like, hey, we haven't heard from your father. Like, can you call? Can you come over here and check him out? So went over to the house and I was getting some of the same responses as far as everything around the perimeter of the house secured. If he wasn't picking up the phone or anything, um, tried to call 911, get all of the services to come out, but one of the operators called it off. I don't understand why, but I got a call back from the EMS, and they just said something didn't sit right with what the operator told me. So I'm not leaving until you tell us if you need us or not. And that operator, I think she spent at least 45 minutes, at least 45 to an hour on the phone waiting with me as we tried to figure out how to get in the house. And we just said, you know what, let's bust a window. So we threw some stuff through a window, broke a window. My brother climbed up um, bravely into the house, and we found my father laid out on the floor. He probably had been there, like I said, about a day and a half. So that that really has really shook me in the last day, and I'm still processing everything and trying to get everything together. So I didn't really tell many people, and I wanted to use this time to tell everybody and tell my family, tell you guys at the same time, like what's going on or what happened. I don't think it was anything related to uh, the virus or anything, but I'll know something more solid tomorrow. But just everybody just keep me lifted up and well wishes and check in if you can and everything. So that's what I'm doing. Thanks, Kid.
Um, yeah. Um,
Hey man, our condolences. Hearts go out to you and your family. First and foremost,
Yeah,
uh,
man.
loved one is a never an easy process, and I can't even pretend to act like I know what you're feeling. So my heart just goes out to you, man. Of course, if you need anything, you reach out to me. I'll definitely be reaching out to you.
Yeah, man. Like big facts, man. Like yeah, the you being able to be on here to to do that. Like I would be just like unconsolable, man. So man, keep your head up. If you need anything at all, man, I'm right down the road, bro. No
yeah.
doubt. Yeah, we can talk off the air.
I can say this very clearly. April suck. Yeah. I've been through that. So in April. So yeah, of course we talked about that through my two up to now last week. So you already know I'm here for you. But I'm gonna try to do one quick up just to kind of keep things up get things back on a positive note. Um, Through all this, there has been some positivity. Down in Miami, um, they reported for the first time in like over 60 years, there haven't been any murders in Miami like in 6 weeks. So like Ringo was talking about, you know, like through all this, there is a time for the earth to heal, for people to heal, and just not worry about all this petty bullshit that goes on out here. So definitely this is case in point. Take check on your people, make sure they're okay. And hopefully we're all get through this all together. And like I said last week, it's getting better, but we still got to be smart. So continue to be smart and take care of you and the people around you. But
Yeah, and I don't, before we, close out, I always try to talk about awareness, like mental health, just kind of how Greg was saying, check on your people, make sure everyone is good because, right now we just don't know how people are handling the isolation, they're handling, the COVID and things like that. There's been, reports of people committing suicide because, the stress of the COVID-19 weighing on them. So, like, if anyone needs to talk to anybody like this, like, you know, there's websites and there's programs like Talkspace. This isn't an ad or anything like that. This is not an ad. Talkspace is a website, it's an app that you could actually get connected with a licensed counselor, a licensed therapist that you could actually talk to and get those thoughts out of you, man. Negative thoughts and things like that, man. They're kind of like a mold and fungus, and they'll eat you up. So get these things out of you. So if you just, this week, if you listen to this episode, check on as many people as you can. Go through your Rolodex, start at A and work your way to Z, and just hit them with a text and say, hey, you good? Can you talk for a second? And just maybe just do 5-10 minute conversation with everyone on your phone, because you just never know like how much you could mean to somebody. So that's just my challenge to the culture, man. Just do that this week. So
there's actually there's somebody on the Athletic that actually did just that a couple days ago. Basically, just texted everybody, and like he posted like all of the like the immediate responses that everybody said, like talk about like athletes, journalists, and all that stuff. Like I said, it's just checking in, just saying, hey, it was good. That goes a long way. But Rashad, we got your back always. But of course, as always, you can catch us on the social FTCUTB. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're still on TikTok at FTCUTD Pod.
Hey man, we gotta get some more content on TikTok. We gotta brainstorm and figure out what we could do. I might recruit my little sister and see some ideas we can get for TikTok. TK is gonna do a dance hour on TikTok. That's what we. I'm telling you, we need to do a don't. We just go ahead and just do a don't rush challenge, man. Just do it. We're gonna say, hey, it's not too late.
I haven't seen that. You don't have a
if it ever got posted, but
yeah, I don't even have a TikTok, and I know about this, man. Come on.
Hold on. Which challenge you talking about, TK?
Do you have a flat booty challenge? And basically, people, you do this.
What in the world?
Hey, hey, I'm gonna talk about it. So what TK is doing right now is he's putting his arms under his feet, and I guess allegedly, if you have a flat booty, your arm is supposed to be able to go up past your ass, and TK's arms touch the back of his head. So, that's funny. Somehow we need to get that clip right there. There's our TikTok.
Assuming I can get my arms under my legs.
All right. It's like, am I a fat ass challenge? Yes, I can't do it.
My legs are too long, man. I can't.
I can't do it. I'm hurting right now and I'm sitting down.
But yeah.
Same. I can't even do it sitting down.
But yeah.
Hey, Greg.
Hit us up on socials. Don't forget to check out the Culture Black away jersey. Like I said, we're still here. We're still stranded. We're creating out this content for you. So definitely make sure that you support the show. But for Coach, for Ringo, for TK, for Mayor Kane and the Kane family, Coach is real. Coach is everywhere. Take care of your people. We'll see y'all soon.